It is important for individuals to consume protein every day. Daily protein intake plays a role in keeping your cells in good shape and should be part of your daily health maintenance plan. Protein is found throughout the body in muscles, bone, skin, hair, and virtually every other part of our body or tissue. It makes up the enzymes that power many chemical reactions and the hemoglobin that carries oxygen in your blood. At least 10,000 different proteins make you what you are and keep you the way you are. Protein is made from 20 plus basic building blocks called amino acids. Because we don't store amino acids, our body make them in two different ways, either from scratch or by modifying other 9 amino acids known as the essential amino acids must come from food. The National Academy of Medicine recommends the adult get a minimum of 0.8 grams of protein for every kilogram of body weight per day, or just over 7 grams for over 20 pounds of body weight. For a 140 pounds person, that means about 50 grams of protein each day. For a 200-pound person, that means about 70 grams of protein each day. The National Academy of Medicine also sets a wide range of acceptable protein intake, anywhere from 10% to 35% of calorie each day. Beyond that, there is relatively little solid information on the ideal amount of protein in the diet or the healthiest target for calories contributed by protein. In an analysis conducted at Harvard, among more than 130,000 men and women who were followed up for 32 years, the percentage of calorie from total protein intake was not related to overall mortality or to specified causes of death. However, the source of protein was very, very important. And we all know that it is very important and paramount for us as human beings to retain our energy and our strength with the intake and consumption of protein. Thank you for joining me today on Lunch Global. I am Chunk Annamel Joseph, and there's so much more for us to get to know about our health, the right protein we're supposed to take, and of course, the intake daily. We will be back shortly after the break. Welcome back from the short break. If you're just catching up with us today, this is Lunch Global, and I am Chunk Annamel Joseph, and today we're going to focus more on protein and why protein is very important to our body. It's important to know that millions of people worldwide, especially young children, don't get enough protein due to food insecurity. The effects of protein deficiency and malnutrition range in severity from growth failure and loss of muscle mass to decreased immunity, weakening of the heart and respiratory system, and death. However, it's uncommon for healthy adults in the US and most other developed countries to have a deficiency because there's an abundance of plant and animal-based food full of protein. In fact, many in the US are consuming more than enough protein, especially from animal-based food. It is all about the protein package. When we eat foods for protein, we also eat everything that comes alongside it. The different fats, fiber, sodium, and more. It's this protein package that likely to make a difference for health. To call out a few examples, a 4-pound broiled sirloin steak is a great source of protein, about 33 grams worth, but is also delivered about 5 grams of saturated fat. Secondly, a 4-inch ham steak with 22 grams of protein has only 1.6 grams of saturated fat, but is loaded with 1,500 milligrams worth of sodium. Thirdly, in 4 ounces of grilled soaked salmon has about 30 grams of protein, naturally low in sodium, and contains just over 1 gram of saturated fat. Salmon and other fatty fish are also excellent source of omega-3 fats, a type of fat that especially good for the heart. Fourthly, a cup of cooked lentils provide about 18 grams of protein and 15 grams of fiber, and it has virtually no saturated fat or sodium. Sharing some of the reasons why we should eat protein daily, because we need to know, okay, how does it affect the body system? How does it work? Does it improve my health? Because most of the time we just eat protein because we want to eat meat, or we feel like eating chicken, turkey, goat meat, beef, or any protein of your choice. Most of the time we just eat them without knowing the particular gram or the real amount of protein we should take each day. And sometimes we tend to skip it. Okay, maybe because sometimes there's no money, or you just need to eat because you're hungry, you need to keep alive, you need to be energetic for work, your activities, your business, and all that. But we need to also know at the same time that protein is very important, because it doesn't store in the body. It's not something that, okay, it's always there, you store it. No, it is like on a daily routine and daily activity. Once you eat it, that is when it is active. But when you don't eat it, it's like something is missing. Sometimes you face things like weakness. You don't get to, when you eat, it's like something is missing. You've not really gotten that satisfaction you need from the body. So some of the important reasons to why it should be a daily routine for each and every one of us out there. First of all, it reduces appetite and, of course, hunger level. Now, the 3 micronutrients, which are fats, carbs, and protein, affects your body in different ways. Studies show that protein is by far the most filling. It helps you feel more full with less food. This is partly because protein reduces your level of the hunger hormone ghrelin. It also boosts the level of peptide, that's a hormone that makes you feel full. This effect on appetite can be powerful. In one study, increasing protein intake from 15% to 13% of calorie made overweight women eat 441 fewer calories each day without intentionally restricting anything. If you need to lose weight or belly fat, consider replacing some of your carbs and fat with protein. It can be as simple as making your potato or rice serving smaller while adding a few extra bites of meat or fish. Now, I'm going to still make emphasis on this. Most of the time we want to just eat and say, okay, we feel like, especially for women, I know most of the time we complain more about adding unnecessary weight. It's the level of carbohydrate. I know, yes, we know it. But if I were you, I will cut down on the portion of protein I eat, of carbohydrate I eat, and then go in with more protein instead. And I will rather also go for like a complex carbohydrate, because that will bring so much satisfaction. Now, putting up together with the protein will just give you the best result. Now, a high protein diet reduces hunger, help you eat fewer calories, and this is caused by the improved function of weight regulating hormones. And it's very important because it is discipline one. We can't just say that, say, oh, I'm going to do it. You know, when you just finish listening to, you know how sometimes something just gets into this ear and goes out from the other ear. When we discipline ourselves, it's easy to make that work. But if not, trust me, it's not just going to happen like that. It's not a miracle. And especially for adults, no one is there to feed you and say, okay, you must eat this or you have to eat it. You need to know what your body needs. And you also need to know what your body needs at the particular time and how you want to work on yourself. It's not all about going to the gym or taking exercises or taking a walk in the morning. We also have to control what we eat, because the more you exercise and then you don't exercise enough time and you eat so much, you don't expect that body to just go, that fat to just go like that. It's not a miracle, but discipline instead. Secondly, it increases muscle mass and strength. Protein is the building block of your muscles. Therefore, eating adequate amount of protein helps you maintain your muscle mass and promote muscle growth when you do strength training. Numerous studies shows that eating plenty of protein can help increase muscle mass and strength. If you're physically active, lifting weights or trying to gain muscle, you need to make sure you're getting enough protein. Keeping protein intake high can also help prevent muscle loss during weight loss. In summary, muscle is made primarily of protein. High protein intake can help you gain muscle mass and strength while reducing muscle loss during weight loss. Thirdly, good for your bones. An ongoing myth, perpetual and ideal that protein, mainly animal protein, is bad for your bone. This is based on the idea that protein increases acid loads in the body, leading to calcium leaching from your bones in order to neutralize the acid. However, most long-term studies indicate that protein, including animal protein, has major benefits for bone health. People who eat more protein tend to maintain bone mass better as they age and have much lower calorie and also fractures. This is especially important for women who are at high risk of osteoporosis after menopause. Eating plenty of protein and staying active is a good way to help prevent that from happening. So once you get more or older, you have to really cut down on the intake of carbohydrate and focus more on the protein, because you need your bones to be strong. You need that energy. You need that movement. You don't need like more food on your body, because it's actually causes more harm to your body than that filling that we're looking for. You know, most of the time when we eat, we just want to be full. We just want to eat and feel that strength, that energy. Oh, I don't feel hungry now. And the next thing that hits is sleep. It's that much food, and we'll still go back and eat food again later. We don't watch our calorie. We don't know the number of calorie, the daily intake of calorie we are supposed to eat. I think we have made so much emphasis. We even, a professional came to even make analysis and still help us to be able to regulate the intake of calorie we eat every day, because it plays a very important role in our health growth. Now, in summary, people who eat more protein tend to have better bone health and a much lower risk of fractures as they get older. It keeps your bone very strong. You know, sometimes you just sleep and then you're having little fractures. But protein helps in building strong bone for you. So before we go further into this, if you have anything you want to share with us, trust me, you can put that on all our social media platforms, because why are we here exactly? For you, of course. So we want to help you any way possible to regulate what you eat, to help you to know exactly what your body needs at a particular period of time, whether you have health challenges or you are as healthy as any other human being in the world. You need to keep being healthy. So we're going to go on a quick break and we'll be back shortly. Welcome back from the short break. Now, continuing from the importance of why protein is very important on a daily basis. Fourthly, it reduces cravings and desire for late night snacking. Yes, if you are a late night snacker like me, Trust me, what you need right now is protein. It will help you limit all of that, because late night cravings is actually one of the reasons why we develop like fats grow so easy, like it's very, very fast. Because what are you doing late night? You had a long day, probably from work, from your business, from your business area where you do your business, from the market, or when you go out for family shopping and all of that. You're tired, and late night cravings is something that hits even when you do not expect it. But then, you know, you have to train yourself. You have to discipline yourself. That's the word. Like, discipline is what keeps you going and avoiding such kind of desires, or let me say hunger, for having to have a late night snack. A food craving is different from normal hunger. It is not just about your body needing energy or nutrients, but your brain needing a reward. Yet, cravings can be incredibly hard to control. The best way to overcome them may be prevent them from occurring in the first place. One of the best prevention methods is to increase your protein intake. One study in overweight men showed that increasing protein to 25% of calorie reduced cravings by 60% and the desire to snack at night by half. Wisely, a study in overweight adolescent girls found that eating a high-protein breakfast reduced cravings and late-night snacking. This may be mediated by an improvement in the function of dopamine, one of the main brain hormones involved in craving and addiction. Eating more protein may reduce cravings and desires for late-night snacking. Don't forget, merely having a high-protein breakfast may have a powerful effect. Now, I want to even make more emphasis on a very high-protein breakfast. It should be like something you owe yourself. You have to owe yourself that and tell yourself that it's easy, especially in an environment where you know that, okay, the money is not there, things are hard now, things are difficult now. You should learn that, because it keeps you going throughout the day. You might not have the best lunch and the best dinner, but sometimes your body, you just slept and have this late night fast because you're already resting, you're asleep. You don't get to eat like you eat during the day. But when you wake up, you know, the stomach is basically empty. So you have to make sure that what goes into the stomach is super healthy, is protein, is high, it's high in protein. Let me use that for your breakfast. And then going forward, it keeps you energetic, it keeps you powerful, it keeps you very active. Because sometimes, you know, I don't know if it has happened to you, but I think personally I've had such experience sometimes when I don't eat right in the morning. When you get to work, you are wondering, your mood has changed, you're having mood swing, and imagine you're just coming into your friends and colleagues will start asking you, are you okay? What's going on with you? Sometimes you don't even know, and you'll be wondering, like, I don't even know what is happening. I don't know what is going on with me. I don't even know what's happening. And then you're wondering, what is going on? Why am I having mood swing? You have to check the breakfast you eat in the morning. This is the trial for you. You should just test yourself. Let me say it's an assignment for you. You should just check yourself and see, okay, if I have this high dense protein breakfast, how is my reaction? And also give yourself time and not even eat any, maybe just a little bit of protein, maybe one boiled egg in the morning, and then you see how far you can pull throughout the day. Fifth is it boosts metabolism and increase fat burning. Eating can boost your metabolism for a short while. That's because your body uses calories to digest and make use of nutrients in food. This is referred to as the thermic effect of food, that's TEF. However, not all foods are the same in this regard. In fact, protein has a much higher thermic effect than fat or carbohydrates. That's 20 to 35% compared to 5 to 15%. High protein intake has been shown to significantly boost metabolism and increase the number of calories you burn. This can amount to 80 to 100 more calories burned each day. In fact, some research suggests you can burn even more. In one study, a high protein group burned 260 more calories per day than a low protein group. That's equivalent to an hour of moderate intensity exercise per day. The high protein intake may boost your metabolism significantly, helping you burn more calorie throughout the day. And lastly, on our list today is it lowers your blood pressure, which is very important. These days, any little thing, your blood pressure is getting high. Maybe things are bothering you, there's no money, things are expensive, and before you know, you have students' school fees, there is so much more, and we have to make sure that our number one priority is our health. Because no matter how hard we work, no matter the effort you're trying to make to get to that level you want to get in life, if you don't look out on your health, or you don't check your health, it's just something that will take you backward. Because imagine you're having things to deal with, you're having still medical issues to fight, money to spend on medication and all of that. Before it gets late, we really have to adhere to the right advice and do the right thing, not for my good, but for your good instead. And protein, just as I said earlier, lowers your blood pressure. High blood pressure is a major cause of heart attack, stroke, and chronic kidney disease. Interestingly, higher protein intake has been shown to lower blood pressure. In a review of 40 controlled trial increased protein lower systolic blood pressure, there's a top number of a reading, by 1.76 millimeters on average, and diastolic blood pressure, that's the bottom number of a reading, by 1.15 millimeters. One study found that in addition to lowering blood pressure, a high protein diet also reduced the LDL, that's the bad cholesterol, and triglycerides. Then several studies note that higher protein intake can lower blood pressure. Some studies also demonstrate improvement in other risk factors for heart diseases. Yes, intake of protein, it helps you with weight, and at the same time, it makes you lose weight as well. And then that's why a lot of people who are working out, they tell you what you need, maybe in the morning before going for workout, you need to take bananas and eggs, and then you need to take cereals and all of that, oats. You really need that, because those are the healthy protein you need on your body. There are protein powders. People who maybe you don't even have to work out to take protein powder. Sometimes you just mix it with your water, so you have the right amount of protein you need in your body. And the more you age, I say this all the time, because we need to be intentional about ourselves. Yes, you are young now. We all are young now, and then we don't understand what effects we will get later in life. That's why we don't need to ignore it. You have to take it very, very serious, so that when you age, you're just trying to maintain your health. You're trying to maintain your body. You're trying to have a good body. You know how it is. We always, especially women, I'll still make emphasis with that. We like to have good body. So why won't you take care of it now? Don't do that when it's late. Health is wealth. Always remember that. And don't forget to drink a lot of water, because the body needs that as well. Thank you for joining me on Lunch Global today. We're going to be putting a stop because of time. I am still Chunk Anamel Joseph, and don't forget to share your story with us on all our social media platforms. We will be grateful to share our story with you too. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.